Well, I used to always write in a journal. And my first relationship, I was somewhat manipulated out of doing that. I threw away a lot of stuff that I wish I kept. And even when one of my best friends was in jail, we would write back and forth to each other and I'd go visit. And my ex was so jealous that my best friend and I had been messaging and writing each other that I threw it out. And so I recently found a part of my journal from not that long ago, but 11 years ago, that I almost threw out. And I'm so glad that I ripped it out, but I kept it. I am Holly, and I'm sharing a part of my journey to bring courage and inspire you on yours. And I really want to read these few pages that I almost threw out. Reading this to you, hopefully will allow you to see that we can be our own worst enemy. And we can really do ourselves no justice by beating ourselves up. Because people around you don't see you the same as when you want to lower yourself. So anyways, I'll start reading here. Okay. So this is August of 2013. So I moved out west of Western Canada in 2011, and then I was still in Western Canada, but I went from BC to Northern Alberta. I went back to Ontario. I did a real estate course. I would come back out. I would go back, do a real estate course, and come back out, because I knew that once I got my license that it'd be 24/7, I'd be in it. So I wouldn't be able to keep doing the traveling and moving and spending too much time elsewhere. Because when I put my all into something, I put my all into it. Like, my passion is there. And so this time that I moved in 2013, I knew it was going to be the last time that I had a lengthy visit, move, before I actually jumped into real estate. So it was the last opportunity. So what I did was I was like, okay, well, where am I going to go this time? I was going to go... Oh, my dog's out. Hold on. Okay, so I wanted to pick some type of job, and it was going to be the last opportunity for me to travel for a length amount of time, certain length. English babble is ridiculous. Our language sucks. So anyways, so I thought, well, let me just search across Kijiji, cool jobs. It was just different cool jobs. So cooljobs.com is like a website. And so you can pick a job somewhere. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to pick where I'm going to go. I'm just going to find a cool job and I'm going to move there. And so I picked this job in I thought I was Northern Alberta before. I ended up in Northern Alberta, 5 hours north of Edmonton. And it was a restaurant, a hotel, so they gave you staff housing. There was a games room, 25 video lottery terminals, off-track horse racing, and in the basement was a pool hall. And there was a river, and a ski hill, and baseball, and nightclubs, and... So I did an interview, a video interview. They paid for my flight out. I went out, and it was amazing. Anyways, I was 30 at the time. And this is a section of what I wrote. August. So I'm pretty sure I went out in May. I think it was around May when I flew out. This is my first entry in this journal ever. So it was a brand new book. "2 a.m. I wrote this at 2 a.m. I think today is a good milestone to start. I wish I had have kept a journal prior to this. My mom always said I should write a book on all the events in my life, that I could make a fortune. So for some reason, today has been the best day I have had in months. I was just in such a great mood. I was out playing pool last night and got about 5 hours sleep, woke up to go to the chiropractor at 9 a.m., came back to have a nap before the rest of my day. I went down to the staff barbecue just after 1, went for a walk with Natalia to the gas station and back. I needed a few things from the drugstore, so for the first time, I just had a feeling, like it's in here, I had a feeling. I walked behind Boston Pizza down the alley. I came across a black cat that was meowing at me, so I stopped to pet him. I knelt down. He dug his claw into my shoulder and pulled himself up into my arms. He was so sweet. The cat nestled his head into mine as I stroked him, and I thought he was going to fall asleep in my arms. I really wanted to take him with me, but after 5 minutes of cuddling, I was on my way. I went to the drugstore in a better mood than before with the thoughts of my cuddle session with the kitty, and then proceeded to the bargain shop. After I left there and started back towards Sawridge, there was a gentleman walking towards me with a huge smile on his face. He pointed at me and we both laughed. I could not wipe the huge grin off my face for the remaining time it took me to get back to my room. That whole walk made my day. And to top it off, when I was working, Anna came to me. She was the duty manager. And she expressed the most pleasant comments a guest explained to her regarding my service and personality. Today was the best day in a while. Mohammed, he was like the general manager, Mohammed is also going to try and get me transferred to Sharks Pool Hall so I can make some real money. So that was it for that one. And then November 2013, so a couple months later. So I wasn't transferred to Sharks, but I have been full-time in the games room for about 2 months now. Chris has passed away a month ago. That's for another entry. Chris was this guy that I met when I'd lived in Lloydminster, and that's a long story. And he was the one that helped me move from Edmonton. He picked me up from the airport and drove me up there. And yeah, we were just friends. But it was just weird how it all happened. I've recently discovered something truly amazing over this past week and came to the realization of my true value. I knew that I was a people person and that many are attracted to me, but I never was made so aware of my true value to others until a conversation I had with Clark. Clark was a customer. He'd come in a lot, and he was like a manager of road construction for the oil fields. So I was never made so aware of my true value to others until a conversation I had with Clark over a few days at work while I was very slow. We talked for hours and hours about how everything in the universe is interconnected and that everyone has a twin soul. Not everyone. There's a large amount of us that do. Not everyone does. It so happens that I am moving back to Ontario over the next few weeks, so I have been letting my customers know. I have received larger tips for gas money, a $100 bill from Magilla for an early Christmas present before he left to go to Arizona, and a road map atlas book from Clark, so I can chart out my road trip easier than GPS. Magela was awesome too. He was a guy, he had a buffalo farm, and he had no kids. I told him he should adopt me. And he brought us over, and he had like this army tank thing that he would drive around to the buffalo, and he had old cars and old trucks that he would put into these competitions, and he'd win. He had ribbons all over them. He was such an amazing man. He went to Arizona, and we only talked once after he left, and he passed away before he even got back. I can see the sadness in people's faces and hear it in their voices. True, genuine regards to the fact of the impact I have made on others' lives in such a short period of time. In some cases, it has been a matter of days or weeks, and at the most 4 months. So I'd only been there 4 months at the time. I've never realized how special I really am. Mom has always said how special I really am, and I've not actually realized it until just a few days ago. I'm now 30 years old, and I have debt, and I don't really own any assets, but I've been able to put so much sunshine into people's lives that I've met along the way. And that right now means more to me than if I had $1 million. I'm so grateful to the people in my life that have helped shape and mold me into the person I am proud to say that I am. Feeling so blessed and fortunate. When I lived up in Peace River, this is an area that people go to try and work to get their Canadian citizenship or a Canadian not exactly citizenship, but to be able to live here and not need work visas. And so up there's people from Jamaica, India, Mexico, the Philippines, Barbados. It was such a wide array of people. And it was so beautiful. Like when my friend Chris picked me up from the Edmonton airport, we drove. One of my favorite colors is canola. The canola fields. So there's like 5 hours of canola fields from Edmonton. And I look at Chris, I'm like, I love this color, but like, when's it going to change? It was so flat, and it's all canola. And all of a sudden, it just like, it goes down this hill. We were like coming over this hill, and it just comes down like this, and it breaks open into this gorgeous valley. And there's a river that runs through it, Peace River. And you could see the ski hill on the other side. And the people coming from the countries they come from, it's not like North America. Nobody's on their phones all the time. It's more connection we have with each other. And people truly and genuinely express their love for you. And it's a friendship love. It's not always like bringing sexuality into a connection. That's what hinders so many connections, is this instant lust feeling that you have. You can be attracted to someone and you can ruin it with sexual connotations or expectations just due to being friendly. And these people, I learned so much about myself by seeing how people genuinely can treat you. And those people that I only knew for 4 months have treated me better than half the people I had in my life growing up. Your best friends can be your biggest enemies. Your own family. And so I really wanted to share this with you. Because no matter how much shit you've been through, no matter what you've put yourself through, no matter what anyone else has put you through, there are those people whose lives you've touched. And with the drama-filled simulation around us, sometimes we truly lose focus on what really matters. You turn any social media on, any TV, and it's drama. School, it's drama. There's bullies everywhere. And our focus, you can have sunshine and rainbows right beside you and not even see it due to the drama that draws your attention over there. So really just find the joy in life. And the joy that you bring to others. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how other people see you. Just know that there are other people who do see you for your potential, for your true potential. Whether you're giving yourself the best life right now or not, it's possible. Everyone's attractive in their own way. This doesn't matter when this is shit. When this is shit, take that mask off. Let us see who you truly are. Because it's starting to show on people's faces how ugly they are inside. Choose to help us create this new earth in a way that you want to see it. Spread joy, peace, love, light. Let the shit go. We've all got our shit. We've all dealt with shit. Don't bring it with you. Mwah. Blessings to you all.